Welcome back to 10 Tens Podcast with Michael and Adam and Robbie.
Woo!
And the normal unprepared show without a guest.
No.
Yeah. We're just going to wing it.
We're just going to wing it. We're going to see what happens.
And it'll end up being one of the best shows we've ever done.
And the longest,
and
probably.
one of the longest shows we've ever done. Because that's just how our life is.
Can I start off with winging it?
Sure.
Would that be okay with everybody?
Please.
So I watched Hyperdrive finally.
Oh,
Have you
fuck.
guys
I want to
watched
watch it,
Hyperdrive?
too. I haven't yet.
Have not.
It's pretty good. All
Yeah?
things considered, yeah. I think the only thing that's a little annoying is that you've got a bunch of people that don't know anything about cars hosting it.
Oh.
And that's a little annoying.
I thought that my boy was hosting it.
He gets very little time to talk.
Really?
Yes.
He should be the only one talking.
The Mike dude, that's the sportscaster, he talks most of the time, and then Michael Bisbing adds some not very helpful commentary.
Oh, really? Michael Bisbing?
Really, yeah. That's the thing that makes no sense at all.
Who the fuck is Michael Bisbing?
Pro fighter.
MMA fighter.
Oh, what?
That's like, how did he even get there? Like, did he accidentally walk into the set?
Why is Rutledge Wood not the only person doing any
Well, the weird
talking?
thing is, like,
He's the man.
You can tell. He starts talking about fielding Shredder's car, and he says something about a 2J or something.
And they
that's
shut him down.
That's the last time you hear him talk about that ever. Like, there's no talk of LS swaps. He says there's a BMW swapped 240, and it's dope.
Oh, sure.
It's super
Oh,
weird.
that's kind of cool.
unique.
He's a Frenchman, but like
That's
a good kind of
kinda
Frenchman.
Cool.
Is that the red one?
No, that's the one. There's like 8 police cars, and I don't know what the deal with that is. There's
Weird.
literally 3 of the cars are police
weird.
cars.
That's weird.
Oh.
Or police, livery with the lights and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe 4?
I don't know.
There's too many. Too many police
I
cars.
saw a picture of a red 240 once.
That's fielding
Did you see-
shredders.
Yeah, that's
Did you see
furthest I've got.
Did you see the pictures floating around on like Track Midwest and all the Facebook groups with the really, really shitty weld job?
Yeah, I saw that.
Where was that? Whose car was that?
So it was like a low hood shot facing at the driver.
Oh, yes, and that kid is really, really fucking good. Like, he's basically a pro driver.
Well, so
and it is like there's a glob weld like right in the front of
and the dimple dyed piece of metal is just like zip tied to the cage. It's completely there for looks.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
that shot was really annoying.
I think that was
find that
It's
picture.
Diego.
I think that was probably one of those deals where it's like, this car just has to be together right now.
Yeah,
I don't think
absolutely.
that kid or even the person who built that car is proud of that.
No, I'm sure
Having
they're
not watched the show at all. But I do know that he was like one of the better ones.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Because I read that in some of those comments. Like, oh, come on, man. I liked that guy. He was really good.
Well, I think apparently, I guess some of them showed up and they didn't have the cage that they wanted, or they didn't have a cage, and so somebody threw a bunch of cages in cars like the week before they started shooting.
Oh.
And so I'm wondering if maybe there was something about his cage that they didn't like, or that car that he brought didn't have one, and so they put that one in last second. I'm sure they all look like garbage.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the Fast and Furious. Looks good from a distance, but once you start looking at them,
Yeah, well, they were like,
all shit cars.
they brought cars in and they were wrapping them and putting roll cages in them and changing seats and stuff. I mean, and it was somebody that the crew hired to do it, so who knows who it was.
Well, we're talking about car TV shows.
Yes.
Are you done with, is that all you got on that one?
Yeah, I
Since
think
we haven't
people
watched
should
it.
watch. I think people should
I
watch
want
it.
to watch it. I just haven't taken the time.
I think season 2 will be better, but it's worth watching.
How many shows is in the season? Like, is this? Am I going to devote?
They're like almost an hour, and I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 8.
Oh, okay.
You can manage that.
Yeah.
Right. Did you see? Especially Michael, I think that Motor Trend on Demand added 2 through
They got 'em.
24.
They got him. They got Robbie.
2 through 24, 25, whatever it is of Top Gear.
I'm a
Yeah,
subscriber.
they're about to get me.
Dude, it's $5 a month
I'm a subscriber now.
for all of the Top Gear, except for season 1 for some reason.
Because it doesn't have James May in it.
Is that what it is?
That's the season we don't talk about.
That's what I thought.
He's really, that dude, the fat guy that was
Yeah,
in there, he's
yeah.
really bad.
Yeah. No, I think I've seen 1 or 2 of those.
I can't find, I tried to find a copy of the season 1.
I
Can't find it.
I think I saw
Unless I buy it somewhere.
1 or 2 episodes on YouTube at some point. Like,
can't remember his
like
name.
a decade ago.
He was like a used car salesman or something. He always talked about used cars.
Wasn't James's first segment, his like test run, trial run, whatever, was like a segment on his
Rolls
roller?
Royce. Yeah, his old Rolls Royce Corniche. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he didn't have a garage to park it in, so he used to street park it in London.
Right. Yeah. It's a hell of an intro tape, or like a
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to go back and watch season 2, though.
I want to go. I canceled my Motor Trend subscription, and I've been on the fence about getting it back, but now it's going to happen.
Yep. Bought it yesterday.
I have to raise my child right, and that's part of that includes
all the Top Gear.
Includes Top Gear.
Yep.
It's an important part of child rearing.
Speaking of Top Gear, I think we're getting the new Top Gear soon. The Chris Harris and 2 other guys Top Gear.
I don't have any way of watching it
I don't either.
because I don't have TV.
Correct. Me neither.
Which is
But
a
I'm
bum deal because
interested.
I
I'm interested
I
in
can watch
watching it.
I like Rory Reid, and I like
No, he's gone.
what
I think Rory's gone.
GTFO.
Pretty sure
Did they
Rory's
get rid
gone.
of? They get rid of the Friends guy?
Yeah, Matt LeBlanc's gone.
Oh,
He was
well
too
then,
busy.
Who fucking cares? Who do they got replaced? Do you have any idea?
No, I like Matt LeBlanc. If it was Matt LeBlanc, Rory, and Chris Harris,
That was like 1 or 2 seasons
Yeah.
of those.
the
And I
second
want
season.
I
or
want to
whatever.
see them, but I never got to.
Right.
Because I don't have TV.
That would be great. I would watch
Yeah.
that all the time.
Yeah, if I had a way to watch it, I totes would.
Yes. But no, I'm pretty sure Rory's gone. I mean,
That's lame.
So it's comedian Paddy
oh god,
McGuinness
I'm out already.
Yeah, I'm
and
already
former England cricketer
I'm
Freddie
also out.
Flintoff.
Throw fucking Michael Bisping in there too. Jesus Christ.
I still
And Chris Harrison.
am anxiously awaiting the return of the American Top Gear trio,
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be
Tanner
better.
and Rutledge and Adam, because I loved that show.
Yeah,
I don't care what
it's-
anybody says. That show was great.
It was. I enjoyed it.
It was so
I
good.
need to find where I can watch it. Does anybody know where I can
Motor
watch
Trend
it?
on Demand, I'm guessing.
You think so?
I don't know. I haven't looked through all of
The
the
first-
stuff that's available.
The first couple seasons, like where they were still trying to be Top Gear of America.
Skip those.
Well, no, I think there's a few segments, but you can certainly skip a few segments. But dude, it really came into its own in like season 3 or so. So good. It was so good when they like got rid of the studio and they were just 3 guys going out and just doing stupid shit in cars. It was very good. It was the best. It's as good of an automotive TV show as there ever was. Right up there with the great original.
Yeah, I'll have to see if that's available somewhere.
I know how much you love Tanner.
Not a huge Tanner fan.
He's a Porsche fan, man.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got
No.
his house has like it's like lofted above the garage, and you pull into the garage and there's a lift that brings the car up into the living room. And when I saw the like video of that, like his crib style YouTube video where they did that, it was a yellow air cooled some era 911 that was like the car that got him into cars. It was his dad's when he was little or something like that. It's got
Bizarre.
like some serious sentimental history to him for him.
I don't think I'd ever own any car that I'd want in my living room. Ever.
I think it's super rad, but I get where you're coming from.
Like
'Cause,
even if
like,
I had
old cars smell bad.
Right, exactly. And a new car, I just don't care.
Right.
So I don't really want that in my living room either.
No. I get what
Robbie?
you're saying.
Would you like a car in your living room?
No.
Okay.
Keep him
I
out
think
of my
like
house.
like
That's what I'm saying.
I've seen that like Zonda on the wall,
Stupid.
That's pretty dumb.
but it's kind of cool.
It's kind of stupid.
It is, but it's kind of
If it's a fake,
mostly stupid.
if it's like just a fake Zonda,
if it was a fake, if it was just like the carbon fiber,
right? It's just like a
That would
carbon
be
fiber
cool.
chassis with wheels bolted to it somehow.
I would go with that.
That's
but like,
probably
don't
what
put
it
a whole
is.
Zonda on the wall.
That's probably what it is, though,
Probably, yeah.
and that's kind of cool.
We talked about it on the news one time. Remember?
Did we?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
Dude, can't fucking remember anything.
I was probably very.
Don't worry,
against
the
it.
group will tell us.
I'm sure I was against it at that point.
Oh
too.
yeah, absolutely.
But I think like if you could get like an old IndyCar tub or something like that,
That would be cool.
I think that'd be dope on your wall.
No, it'd be cooler as a simulator.
That'd be pretty sweet too. I'll give you
Way,
that one,
that's
Robbie.
way better than
Put
on
it in
the
your
wall.
man cave?
Yeah.
I'll
I
give
don't know
you
what
that.
Robbie's doing all this Googling of. God damn, that's stupid. Take it back. That's pretty dumb, man.
He found a picture of the Zonda.
It's a Pagani.
Yeah, Zonda.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
I thought it was. That's not what I was thinking in my head that it was.
It's like
That's like a room divider.
Yeah, it's like a
wall,
floating.
yeah.
It's
I
like
would just
the
rather
wall.
see out the window. I don't want to look at the car. I just want to keep looking. I assume there's a window behind it.
No, it's like a loft, so it's separating the bedroom from the living room.
Man, you are definitely not getting fucking laid if a girl walks in and sees that.
No.
I beg to differ.
Well, I suppose how expensive that apartment would be.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't really care at that point.
No, she don't give a shit.
I don't know, man. That's a pretty tough sell, I think.
Nah, dude. By the time she got to the apartment, it was already sold.
Well, she's not going to be living with you. I can tell you that. I wouldn't plan on having any long-term plans if you have a car as literally a wall in your house.
I think that might be a tactic.
No, I think it's a bad idea, man.
Look at Michael nesting over here.
Her interior designer is not going to like that, and trust me, she's going to hire one because you have stupid amounts of money.
Get the fuck out of my house. You can go interior design your own house, lady. My house got a Zonda floating wall thing.
It doesn't have an engine anyway. It's a waste of time.
Well, if it did, it'd just drip on the floor. You can't have an engine on the side like that, Robbie.
You can't have a car on its side. The whole thing's dumb.
I think overall it's stupid.
People are dumb.
People are stupid.
Cars are dumb.
Rich people.
Cars are stupid.
Rich people are.
Rich people are definitely.
You can't buy taste.
We'll get to how stupid cars are. Just wait.
Yeah.
Should we do the opener?
Let's do your opener. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Presented by
Mr.
Booney Boone.
I did a really bad job of talking to him about the Habitat for Humanity house, and I
Said you
apologize. Meaning that I did not.
I gotta call that guy.
He texted me about the Formula. Was that 3? The gentleman that passed away. Formula 2.
Formula 2.
So we talked about that, and I just totally forgot.
What a jerk. He didn't text me. We watched Formula 1 together, and he couldn't talk to me about it?
Michael doesn't even like racing.
I know. That's my point. Why did he...
Maybe he got confused. Maybe he accidentally typed in my name and meant to type in Robbie's name, and then he was there, so he just committed to it. You know, he just
We've all been there.
keep going.
We've all been there.
Oh, absolutely.
It happens.
Happens to the best of us.
Get that text, you're like, I know this isn't for me. I'm going to respond.
Especially when you accidentally say,
it's
I
like-
love you to somebody or
It's
something
like
like that.
midnight, and you can see there's a lot of typos. You're like, this wasn't for me. I know, right, man? Totally.
How drunk are you?
Shit's crazy, man.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
So,
Anywho, I'll follow up with him on that. Or Max.
so Robbie Veerhout,
No.
the esteemed,
Confusing man.
the esteemed Robbie
The
Veerhout,
most confusing man in the world.
he has long stood behind his statement that he is a man of the 90s. Right?
You still stand behind that statement?
Let's keep it 90s, bro.
He loves the 90s cars.
Actually, I prefer, late 90s, early 2000s.
Right? See,
that's
okay,
my
so
jam.
this is where we'll get there, Robbie. You just wait. So I came across this article, and while I was perusing this article, I developed a theory. Okay?
Not good.
And so this article is titled The 19 Greatest 1990s Performance Cars You Totally Forgot. And if I'm honest, there's a handful of cars on here that as a lover of the 80s, I still would happily own. And there are a handful of cars that, as a lover of horrendous and obscure cars, I still think these cars need to die in obscurity. So it's a mixed
Nice.
bag of
Well, where's
cars, right?
Where's the article of 19 great 90s performance cars that you didn't forget? Because these are just the
So,
shit rejects.
What
on
I
the
want to
side.
do, what I want to do here, real quick, and we can stop and talk about a few of these cars. We can just pass right on a few of these cars, but I want to get a Robbie stamp of approval.
On
Or,
each one?
or a yay or a nay from Mr. Veerhout. And I'm going to keep a running tally of the yays.
We're gonna get a yay or nay of the running total of the bottom of the barrel.
No,
from the
dude, these
90s.
are the greatest performance cars you totally forgot about.
Forgot, which means the ones that you remembered are the ones that matter.
It's fine, Robbie.
All right,
This is car and driver if anybody wants to follow along.
So let's just roll through the
Let's
list,
do it.
Robbie.
Yep,
let's
let's do
roll
it.
through the list, and then when we're done, I'm going to present a theory that I have developed for Robbie that I think he's going to agree with. I think he'll like this theory
Why can't we pick the good ones? Why does it gotta be the rejects?
because this is the
'Cause this is
this
tailored
is the
to
article
give you an
they
answer
made.
you
Robbie.
want.
This is the article they made. I can't help that. And
This is a fucking trap.
nah, I don't think it is. It's fine. It's fine, Robbie. First up on the list, a car that I think is horrendous and just needs to go away.
Alfa Romeo GTV.
The 90s Alpha GTV. It's front-wheel drive.
No, I'm out.
It's terrible looking.
It's very bad looking.
Painfully 80s.
The glorious V6 that resides under the hood does not make up for the rest of the atrocities.
Robbie already gave it
Especially
a thumbs
when
down.
you look at the older GTVs.
Yeah, the older GTV is great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right.
Next in that one.
That's a no from Robbie. Shocking of all shockers. Next up, the E36 BMW M3 Lightweight.
We forgot about that?
Nobody forgot about
Well,
this.
see, the problem...
Go to bring a trailer.
Go to any track event ever.
So, doesn't it say there's like 900 of these or something like that?
Yeah. That car on Bring a Trailer would literally bring over $100,000.
Yeah, probably. I know where there's one of these.
Thumbs
I don't
up.
want to pay for one, but
So Robbie's pro on that one.
Pro M3.
So that's
Don't
one.
tell Boone I said that.
Well, he's going to hear this, Robbie. He
I know.
listens to the show. We got one, people.
1 to 1.
Well,
I think the reason people forgot about the lightweight in specific is because there's literally 12 of them. Or something.
125
Yeah, there's 125.
when they were new. So like
And
10.
There's a guy who lives around the Sioux Falls area or somewhere in South Dakota who is a regular at the Sioux Falls autocrosses who owns one of these and has raced it there more than once. I've seen it, been up close to it. Just looks like an M3. I don't get it.
Yeah, it is an M3.
It's got
With
stupid
a wang.
thing on the back of it. Vinyl.
The flag.
Looks dumb.
It's a BMW Heritage, guys.
Yeah, it's the M colors.
Yeah, it's-
Michael. It's heritage.
M
the greatest
colors
car ever made.
M colors come
It's the
on
greatest
more,
car ever made.
M colors come on more non-M cars than M cars.
It's the greatest car ever made. How dare you?
No.
It's the best track car ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everest ever.
Just
doubt it.
ask an owner and they'll
tell you.
Oh, I'm sure they will tell me.
Don't worry. They're going to talk about it on the group this week.
Chris, stop. Don't do
Just
it.
stop typing. Just let it go. Just a joke.
Just let it go, man. Next, Robbie. What do we got next?
Oh hell yeah, bro!
The Impala
Impala
SS.
Stamp of approval. This is
So,
basically
Robbie,
the predecessor to the LS, dude. You have to
LT1.
like this.
Automatic only.
No.
Big old boat.
No.
You have to like it, dude.
This generation sucks.
Thank you. Oh, it's a car we can agree on, Robbie.
Man, you guys are haters.
One. We're still at one, people. We're still at one.
Oh, he's gonna say no to this because he has to.
So,
Of course I have to.
next up, the Dodge Neon
Except for the...
RT.
No, because even the people that made that car didn't even like it.
How do you figure?
It's a terrible car.
It's a sweet car.
It's a moped. It's like a moped.
How do you figure?
You can enjoy riding it, but you damn sure better not let anybody see you riding it.
Nah, I would happily drive that car.
Josh's is the only one.
No, dude, I don't know. I don't know the first gen Neon. I don't like the next one so much. I like that one though.
No.
If anybody wants to buy Josh's Neon, it is for sale. And it's a reasonable price considering
It's
what
fair.
you're getting.
It is very
And
fair price.
he's very, very close to starting to pull parts off of it and have that price fall. But then you don't get all the sweet parts, and I think you should buy it with
You
the
need the sweet parts.
All right, so that's a 0. Let's keep going.
So, yeah, I figured that was a no. The Dodge Stealth, Robbie. Yes.
Loved the Stealth.
Yeah.
Loved the Stealth.
Down
So
vote.
I'm
Downvote. It looks weird.
middle of the road on the Stealth. I'm much
not a
more
3000
pro
GT.
3000 GT than I am Stealth.
Also looks weird.
There was... what's the...
I hate the rear wing on the 3000 GT.
God, they're ugly.
Stupid.
What's the... is it the RT? Is that the nice one?
That's the nice Stealth.
Yeah. There was
Yes.
one of those in my hometown when I grew up, and I was in
The
like...
VR4 is the...
It was good. I wanted it.
That's
Dude,
my
those were
problem
like-
with it is that the only one you really want is the VR4, and there's 10,000 of the ones that you don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all automatics, and they...
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my
and then
that's my
no
main
room to
hang-up
work on
with
that
it.
engine.
Don would like when we were in that shop that I used to be in that was like we were a couple of us in a group.
Yep.
The very first thing he did when we started renting that place was he went out and bought an automatic front wheel drive only 3-liter version of these. And when we were looking at it, the guy knew that the timing belt, or what was it? Something, he knew the water pump was failing.
Yep.
And so we're looking at the car, and Don is in the car, key on to start it, and I'm watching the motor spin, and I'm watching the timing belt slide out of the, like, cut its way through the plastic cover as it's sliding off the idler pulley. Don, stop. And we told that guy, he's like, whether we take this car or not today, you cannot start this car or you will ruin this engine.
Yep.
So we ended up buying it for like a song and dance. And Don fixed it and flipped it and made a bunch of money on it because that's Don.
That's how he does it, yeah.
Yeah, it just annoys me. But Pro.
Yeah,
huh?
Pro Stealth.
All right.
So he's 2.
Dude, the VR4 was rad.
It was rad.
Like,
I'm not disagreeing with that. It's
all-wheel steering, all-wheel drive, twin turbo, active aero. Like,
It was good.
that's but dude, it was crazy money.
It's only money. You make more of it every day.
Like, modern equivalent, I'll bet that was close to, if not exceeding, $100,000.
No.
Dude, they were crazy
Dude, it's like
money.
the FD-ARC-7 was
FDs
some
were
insane amount of
really
money.
expensive
Yeah,
too.
they still
the
are.
twin
It was the
turbo
same-
ones were crazy money too.
It was the same money as 911 at the time.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So,
Moving on.
Robbie,
For fuck's sake, Adam.
Robbie, the Taurus show. Come on, Robbie, the first gen show. It's so good. That Yamaha V6. It looks cool. It sounds great. It's manual. Come on, Robbie.
It'd be fun to drive as a manual.
He doesn't like sports sedans, remember?
This is trash.
But dude, a manual.
No, he doesn't like sports sedans, period.
But
Straight up.
But a manual, Robbie.
He
But
gets, he gets
see,
it.
I'm telling you, man, it doesn't matter. It's a sports sedan. He doesn't like it.
I don't like it.
Not saying it makes sense. I'm just saying that that's
Sometimes-
what he does.
Sometimes I wish that two things. I wish that we had more time to do YouTube videos
Don't we all?
and that I had access to some of these cars that Robbie thinks he loves or hates.
That'd be great.
Because I would build an entire video series around putting Robbie in those cars and proving him wrong.
I'd be good with that.
Like I would put,
That's my dream.
I would find somebody who owns a Ford Econoline, a flat-nosed Ford Econoline van,
Yeah.
and I would put Robbie in it, and I would have a GoPro pointed square at his face so that everybody could get infinite amounts of joy in his displeasure.
My pleasure.
When you watch the look of disappointment wash over
Yeah,
his
exactly.
face.
I want cameras
No
on both
power
of you
steering,
then.
no power brakes.
It's the worst.
The best.
So I drove my dad's Scout this weekend with Josh Fettis, and
Yep.
I was like, there's no way that Robbie would like this vehicle.
You don't know that.
This is the worst driving experience of any vehicle I've ever driven, and that's why I love it.
Yes.
But you would hate
You don't know
it.
that.
Yes, I do.
Nope, you're wrong.
No.
All right.
But then we could do the same thing with a Taurus show, except in the opposite. You'd see him with the look of disappointment as he gets in. But then as he starts slamming gears and doing smoky front wheel drive burnouts and listening to that V6 sing and that frown turns upside down and he just really falls in love with a shitbox 90s sports sedan, it'd be the best.
Harping on any car is fun, but I wouldn't fall in love with that car. I know that.
I just think that you're wrong about a lot of these things.
I'm not. Moving on.
What's next?
So the Jeep...
Jesus.
The
What the
90s
hell is
Jeep
this
Cherokee.
doing on this list?
Performance
so,
cars?
So they put in the 90s, Jeep put a 5.9 liter V8,
Yep.
right? 5.9?
Yes, yeah.
In
245
in the-
horsepower.
Yeah, I was going to
in the-
say, but it didn't make any power.
No, because V8s of that era didn't.
345 pounds of torque.
That's decent, but
Yeah, that'd
still,
be fun.
who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't-
That's so stupid.
It is super stupid.
6.8 seconds, 0 to 60.
Wow. That's not that bad. I
Shredding
guess.
tires.
That's
My
not that
Focus
bad.
would do that.
That's not that bad. 6.8?
No, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm-
everybody's
I'm with
out on
Robbie
that next.
that. So the next up, the Lexus SC, basically
Oh,
a Supra with a
yeah.
Lexus body on it.
Oh, yeah.
I
dare say I'd rather have this than a Supra.
made a decision at Alpine Horizon Festival this year that if I were to ever build a drift car, it would be an SC.
Yes. These are
Absolutely.
wonderful. These are absolutely wonderful
Absolutely.
cars.
I've decided
You
that,
could do a 2J.
that they look fantastic.
Uh-huh.
The 2J setup sounds fantastic.
Uh-huh.
They're just obscure enough that they're not at every event you go to, but they're not obscure enough that they're supported. There's parts out there. People have done things with them. I'm pro SC.
Yes, it's just.
I wish I'd had that.
It's a bigger, stretched out 240. It's fine.
Wish I'd had the money to drop that $9,000 on that drift car. That was for sale a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
So
These all come automatic though.
No,
Not all.
no, they're probably super
the
hard
straight
to find
sixes
that way.
had manuals. Some of them.
They're hard to
Probably
come by.
The
super
V8s
hard,
are all
but-
automatics.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I remember that now. Up to 3, people. 3.
Wow.
3. Next up, a car that we never got that... Just move on, Robbie. I don't even...
Just those were to skip it. Just keep going.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, hell yeah.
Robbie, the Mercedes-Benz 190E. Right? Is that what that one is?
No, that's not the 190. Yeah, it's the 500.
500.
This
Sorry.
is the one that they worked with
500.
Porsche to develop.
Come on, Robbie. They're rad.
It's fine.
It's boxy. It's an 80s.
It's boxy.
But it's made in the
Porsche
90s.
and Mercedes together.
It's the best
Sure.
of the best of the best.
It's good.
No, be
doesn't
honest
like
here,
it. He
Robbie.
doesn't like
Be
it. It's a
honest.
sports sedan.
I'm not giving him a pro. I'm not giving him a check mark on the pro column for this car.
All right.
Because he's obviously fake.
Yeah, moving on.
Thumbs down.
Great car, by the way.
The Eagle Talon.
No, this is
Is this the
Mitsubishi
first gen?
Eclipse.
No, this is the-
That is a first gen.
No, wait a second.
No.
Do we know that?
It says Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX.
That's an Eagle Talon, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, car and driver. The fuck?
Pretty sure that's an Eagle Talon.
No, that's
No,
an
it's a
Eclipse.
Mitsubishi.
All right, so that's a first gen Eclipse.
Yeah. God.
First gen, I don't like.
No,
The second gen is, I
better.
still think,
The
one of the
round dude?
cooler cars.
yeah.
You're talking about the one from
The one-
Fast and Furious.
yes.
Yeah, that one.
That's second
Yes.
gen. The first gen, I'm not a
no,
fan of.
first gen's awful.
I would deal with a first. If we stack ranked them, it'd be second, first. I don't care.
That's the right answer.
Is there 4 gens? There's 4 gens.
So second,
First. I'm sticking.
second, first,
Yeah.
sticking with
third.
that.
That's fair.
No, I won't even.
Fourth
give
is
them-
real bad.
It's awful.
Real bad.
Real awful. Yes. No, the second one, absolutely. It doesn't say what
Are you
years.
pro first? Well, because I think the
Because the
second,
second one counts because it was in the 90s.
the second gen was like 99.
No,
to
it was like 95.
Yeah, he's
It's like
right.
the 240.
It was pretty early.
It's like the same years as the
Well,
240.
I don't know, Robbie. Are you
That's
pro
the
or con
first gen. first
Mitsubishi
gen.
Eclipse?
One of the few front-wheel drive cars I'm pro on.
Yeah? All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm going to give it to him, even though I think he's thinking of the second gen and they clearly are lifting the first. We're going to give it to him anyway. 4, people. We're up
Wow.
to 4. 4.
Wow.
Robbie.
You cannot
The
say you don't
SR20.
like this.
The SR20 powered
Wow.
Nissan
Okay, he's
Pulsar
right. Just move
GTI-R.
on. Just keep going.
No.
Yeah, just keep going.
So a car we never got here
Great
in the United
car.
States. Super cool. We never got it though. But they are
Right.
old enough that
And-
they can
but-
be imported. There's actually a few of them around here. They're super rad.
But ones that had Nissan built SR20s,
You just leave them alone.
you're okay.
Don't
Yep.
do anything to it.
Yeah,
Just
don't touch 'em.
leave it alone. It's fine.
Actually, if you have one, you should boost it.
Winky face, winky
That's
face.
very rude.
They can handle all of the boost.
All of it. Every last little
You know
bit
what can
that
handle
throw
all of
at
the
it.
boost? A 2J.
Yeah.
Or a 1J. Or an
RB.
LS. Or an RB. Like everybody has because they fucking work.
SR for life. That's a no, Robbie.
Speaking
Next
of
one.
SRs,
So,
Ooh,
this-
another one.
so the Nissan
I have
Sentra.
no idea what this is.
The
This is-
Sentra SER.
Oh, okay.
But this is the not turbo.
it's a non-turbo
of the
SR20
SR.
DE.
So are we pro or con on the? I think these are rad.
I'm okay with
I
the
would have
Sentra
that.
SER.
I would-
Yeah.
I would.
It's a
like,
fucking sports sedan.
How was that a sedan?
That's a 2-door car, bro.
Yeah, but it's still a sedan-based car. It's not a coupe.
This,
yeah, but
this
all
is
the
a
S-
coupe. That is a coupe.
That's a coupe.
It is a coupe?
Those
That's
are
a two-door car.
doors.
No. Just because it's 2 doors doesn't mean it's coupe.
I don't give a
Okay,
shit. It's got 2
Mercedes-Benz.
doors. It's got 2 doors.
Hey, I don't agree with what Mercedes-Benz does.
That's a 2-door car.
It's a 2-door car, but I don't think it's a coupe.
I don't care what it's called. It's a 2-door car. It's fine. I'm gonna.
I'm giving
It's
it to him.
confusing.
I'm giving it
Whatever.
to him.
Mark it down.
That's
Thumbs up.
5. It's
All right.
5.
All right, keep going.
Keep going, Robbie.
No.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Dude.
Oldsmobile
hell yes.
Cutlass.
Hell yes.
Cialis.
Cialis?
Cialis.
Cialis?
It's not called the Cialis, is it?
Calais. Cialis.
so
Yeah.
Like the boner pill.
Yeah.
The Oldsmobile Cutlass Viagra 442.
The 442, Robbie. The original Quad 4.
No.
Great little cars. Dominated SCCA in their time.
No.
Great cars.
No.
I wouldn't own one.
Never.
Cavalier? In.
At Cavalier,
The
absolutely.
newer Cutlass was better.
I don't think that you are thinking of the right car, Robbie.
I was going to say, I don't think so either.
What the hell am I
I was
thinking?
confused for a minute.
I don't think there was ever an Oldsmobile Cutlass that Robbie would be in on. I think I can say
70? What about a 70 Cutlass? He might like a 70
Like
Cutlass.
an old G body.
Big old boy.
I don't even.
I'll never
know
find the
about
picture
that.
of what car I'm picturing of though. Ah. Yeah. Huh?
What bullshit car?
Now I'll never find it.
I don't think.
See, now all I can find are convertible ones of it.
Well, show me the convertible one at least, so I know what generation we're working with here, Robbie. What years? What span? I don't know that they made a convertible Cutlass.
In the 93.
No, that's the same. That's the same generation.
Is it the same gen?
Isn't it?
No, it's
Is that
not.
later?
I think so.
Yeah, that's later. You're into that?
It's better than what you got on the screen.
That's like a Monte Carlo,
Yeah, that's better than what.
Oh, that's not what you had up there. We'll go back to that other car. I thought that's
No,
what.
no,
Oh,
those
you're
are
right. It's
different.
not the same.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not the same.
that's the older one.
Yeah, the old one's worse than the newer one. I'm not saying either one of them's great, but if you're like pick a Cutlass, and it's like, well, between those two, I'm picking the 93.
Nah, bro. 70.
The 70 is a totally different car.
I don't know what to do with you, Robbie.
You look at that one, that one right there.
Yeah.
The 90.
So
whatever.
here's the thing. I would pick that car because it's a better performing car. I would pick the 442 version because
I'm
it's a
going to
better
take the 93
performing
because
car.
it's a better looking one.
It's not.
To who? Ray Charles? That car looks terrible.
They're all terrible. It's a douche and a turd sandwich, guys. We've had this conversation. I posted on the group.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, let's pick two of the worst cars. You like that one? No, they're both terrible. I fucking hate them both. I gotta pick one.
So I think that's a pass.
This is my,
I think we could skip that one.
this is my new favorite thing.
All right,
It's
what's
just like
Robbie explaining if he likes things?
no,
I don't.
giving him two terrible cars and making him pick
Choose.
between the
He gets very angry.
because he doesn't even pick the right one.
But then he gets angry and he blames the person that gave him the cars.
I don't want either one of them. Can we move on?
Yeah,
past
go to the next
Cutlass?
one.
Oh,
What's
what's
the
the next? We gotta be almost done. Oh,
What the fuck is that?
skipping
Panaz Roadster. That looks fun.
Panaz. God,
It's a Panos Roadster.
Panos, yeah,
There's
whatever.
like three of them, I'm sure.
Just skip
I'd
it. It's
drive
so
that.
stupid.
It looks like kind of like an SSR.
It's like a shitty Prowler.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks
like
like
a
a
shit-
Chinese prowler.
It's a Chinese
exactly
Prowler
what it
or a
looks like.
Chinese Cobra.
But it's
I'd drive
Panos,
that. That'd be
so
fun.
it's probably pretty
really
fucking
good.
That'd be
great.
super fun.
The interior is probably glued,
I'm not-
together with
thumbs,
Elmer's glue.
thumbs up for the
I'm not
Panaz.
giving you that one.
That's
though.
bullshit. There's 19 cars, and I give you a thumbs
Well,
up.
we already knocked out that stupid Lotus, so fine. I'll give it to you, Robbie.
Hell yeah.
We're only going on 18 cars, though. And then
The 968
That's
Club
a
Sport.
stupid car.
It's ugly. Can you give me like a 9?
really,
I don't like the
Can you give
968.
me a
That's
different
like
Porsche?
I thought that
collector.
was a 2.8, but okay.
That's like
6.8.
no. The 2.8 is legit because they had a
I drive-
V8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the 2.8's
yeah,
great.
This has a four banger in it. I'm pretty sure,
Yes, it does.
and that's it.
It's
You know
terrible.
why I know what motor comes in that car?
What's that?
World Time Attack.
Oh, that's weird. Who in World Time Attack runs a
Have you not
968?
seen that car?
I don't
No.
think so.
Robbie, Google RP968. The car that won last year that was like tenths of a second off of being faster than some Formula One driver in a open wheel like Formula 2 car was a air quotes 968.
Oh, here, that's a better.
So RP968, it's just wild. So it's
This-
not the best looking car in the
One
world.
of my problem with this car is it's like one of those cars that there's not much 968 left.
No,
there.
there's no 968.
It's one of those cars
left there.
that's
it's a deal.
it's just like a collector wet dream. Like it's not a good car, but
Yeah.
collectors think
Like
that
912s.
yeah.
Except I think
The only
these-
reason people like 912s is because they can't find a 911.
Yeah, but they got so expensive too. Like you could almost buy do you think you can buy a 996 for less than a 912 now? Aren't they like
Big
getting
time.
in
Yes.
there? That's dumb.
912s are probably you'd probably spend
If anybody like
50 grand on
if
one.
anybody looks at a 996 and then buys a 912 instead, I don't
It sounds like a Volkswagen
You
because it is.
because it is. You deserve to have that money.
I think
taken
it makes
away
like
from you.
60 horsepower.
I hope you never get it back.
But like people think they're like, oh, they're kind of cool. Like it's got this kind of weird, like it's cool, but it's not fucking cool, man. It's got a Volkswagen motor in it.
Yeah.
it makes that weird Volkswagen sound.
It's like
It's not a sports car.
it's the base model of a car. It was just Porsche's attempt at not going broke. at the time.
I don't get the
No arguments here.
I don't get the 912 at all. It annoys me that people think they're cool.
You should, like, if you're gonna buy that, buy a 914.
I would rather have a 914-6 than that.
Well,
for sure.
Would you take a 914-4 over that?
Yeah, because I don't want to have to explain to people that it's not a 911. I do not want to have that conversation. And then
obviously the 6, because that's a different animal. But a 914-4.
I'd rather have a 914-4.
Right.
Because you don't have to. You got to live with yourself that you have a Volkswagen powered.
For those not in the know, the 914-4 and 6, the 4 and 6 denote how many cylinders in the engine. So the 6s are way, way more rare. But I like the 914. I would own one of those.
It's coming around for me.
If I had them. Shocking. It's mid-engine.
It's mid-engine.
Mid-engine's good.
It's better that way.
It is.
So, is that the end of that ride? I think that was the last one.
I'd be
if I remember
very
correctly.
happy if that was it.
I think that was the end.
No, it's
of,
not.
It's not. Jesus Christ! It
The
should.
Subaru SVX.
Oh, yeah,
I
we know
can't-
he likes this car.
He
Love
loves
it. Love it.
Damn it, Robbie!
I'm out.
Come on, Robbie. That thing's rad.
One more.
That's kind of cool, man.
One more.
One more after this.
I'm into
The
it.
Celica.
Oh well, that's a pro. I'm just gonna throw that one in there now.
I
know it's not the right generation.
That generation sucks.
That's not the right
later
generation.
Take it off.
generation.
But you
Take
would.
it off.
So you can get those with a turboed
Yeah.
4-banger that's all-wheel drive.
Yep.
They got rally pedigree.
It'd be a super
super
fun car.
fast.
Yeah.
Like
He
you gotta
doesn't
be
like
pro that, right? I understand you like the later one better.
Yes.
But you are pro that.
Yeah,
aren't you?
I'm pro
I mean, it's a
Celica.
Toyota.
Yes, it's good. Celica is good.
Okay. So 7.
Out of 19 or 18.
So I picked 7 out of the bottom of the barrel.
It's not even half. That's less than 50%.
Can we do a list of the top 10?
So okay, Robbie. Here's my theory. Hear me out on this, okay?
I feel like this is a setup for your own agenda.
No, it's not at all. I just think that this is what's going on here.
is
So what year's your 240?
95.
And how long have you had it? What year did you buy it? Do you remember?
Oh, 6.
So it was 10 or 11 years old
Yeah.
when you bought it.
Yep.
It was kind of at the bottom of its depreciation curve, right?
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah, Drift actually hadn't kicked
it was
in yet.
like freshly on the cheap car list.
Yes.
The 350Z.
Yes.
What year is it?
04.
And you bought it in 2019.
19.
So
Same
15
scenario.
years. Freshly on the cheap car list, the bottom of its depreciation curve, right?
Arguably, yes. I still think
What
it's
I
on
think-
a downward tick.
What
but
because Robbie has more so than Michael and I just bought the 240 and like lived the 240 life for 10 years, whatever. Now, I think that Robbie actually likes cars that are freshly on the cheap car market. And for the longest time, because Robbie's so like one track minded, that was the 240. So that was a 90s car. So he thought he liked 90s cars. He just likes cheap cars that used to be expensive and just freshly arrived on the cheap car market.
Well, I won't disagree with any of that.
Because like Robbie wants a Toyota, but they're not quite cheap enough.
I've really soft.
Have you changed?
Yeah, I really don't. I'm not.
Oh, really?
I've lost a lot of interest in those cars.
Yeah? Why is that?
Yeah. Because I'd have
The owners?
No, well, that too. But I'd immediately have to pull out the
Yeah,
fucking
'cause
engine and put something good in.
that
and
part of it
I don't
sucks.
want to deal with it.
Because the ownership or the owner group is really a turnoff for Robbie.
Yeah, the 240 group fucking
That's
sucks.
true. Very true.
Is the
Maybe he doesn't want it
350Z?
from. Maybe he doesn't
The
want it from
Z group's
both
not
sides.
any better.
I was gonna say is the 350.
Maybe it's too much. Maybe 3 is too
and
many.
then I feel
you know?
like the Avalanche owner community is kind of like the S10 owner community. It's really
pretty-
not
all
that good
shitheads.
either.
All trashy.
Yeah, like you find a lot of Avalanches in trailer parks. I'm just saying.
It's true.
So clearly, Robbie doesn't purchase cars based on owner group.
No. I like the
I just
VRZ
think-
when it came out, and
I
I've
just
really
think that
lost
Robbie
interest.
likes cars that are freshly on the cheap market. They're about 10 to 12 years old. They've hit the bottom
But
of their
if
depreciation
you think I was
curve.
looking at an 80s car at the bottom of their depreciation value, you're out of your fucking mind.
But you weren't looking at cars when those were getting there.
yes, but I have the money to buy them now, and I don't look at them.
Well, yeah, that's because they're out of that. They're not freshly.
They're not
arriving.
gaining value.
Some of them are.
They're
Yeah, Radwood has done some things.
it's still
they're
No
not,
way, dude.
They're not falling off.
Yeah, they're getting
still at
they're
the
getting-
bottom.
They're getting more expensive.
No, what I'm saying, not so much. It's cars that have just recently reached the bottom of their depreciation.
Just
curve.
because I bought it at the right time doesn't mean I
Yeah.
wasn't searching for them for years before that.
Well, yeah. See,
No, I
that's
think
what I'm saying.
that's his
That's
point.
what I'm saying. Is that you
buy stuff at
You buy stuff
you figure
that-
out when the bottom is.
right
and you-
when it gets there.
Yeah.
You love this car, and you wait until you can buy it.
Yes.
That's what I'm
cheaply.
saying.
Yeah, of course.
It's not that you like 90s cars.
I do.
It's that you like cars. You like these cars, and when they've reached that bottom of their curve, you buy them. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with when they were made. They're about 10 years old.
That's not necessarily true though, because like from like 95 to like 04, there were a lot of fucking amazing cars built in that time.
That's nearly as many cars in the 2000s as in the 90s.
Yeah, but I still that's my range.
But I mean,
I think he's saying he likes newer than 90s cars also, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
well,
I
okay.
think you guys are saying the same thing. You're just
Yeah,
saying
Cars that are 10 to 15.
He's saying yes. Well, you guys are saying the same thing minus like his cutoff is 95.
right, because that's
But like you're saying you like 2000s cars also.
Early 2000s
So you
cars,
might be
yeah,
a
absolutely.
90s guy, but you also like 2000s
that
cars.
tail end of that generation. So like
You're
the
saying the same
generation that started at 95, which seems to be like, you know, the 240s, the Supras, the RX-7s, like all that stuff. 95 was the year that everything changed for like the better. And then by 04, that's kind of where everything started to go in a different direction. 02, 04.
it's because we started buying crossovers.
So yeah, I still stick by
So
that.
the sports car market died.
Yeah,
He likes-
95 to 02 is really my years.
So like first gen or early gen RX-7s, early gen Supras, early gen S chassis. He's not in. When they refined them and made them better, then he's in.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't like a FB.
No.
Or
Yeah, those are
even
pretty bad.
or even the FC so
No,
much.
not really. I like the S13 though. The hatch.
right.
A lot
But,
more than the coupe.
but isn't there like an S12 or something like that?
I couldn't tell you.
Strictly JDM stuff, but
Oh,
yeah.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm out.
Okay.
So you don't think
But I do like 70s, like the 240s.
Vans?
No, the 240Z. Like, I love that car.
Yeah.
so you don't think
does.
think that you will have a Toy Baru.
No, probably not. I've really kind of walked away from that car. Like, really not even considering it.
I don't think Robbie wants to do motor swaps right now.
Sick of it.
He's tired of working on his cars.
You want to talk about your motor swap, Robbie?
Not particularly.
That's all I got.
I was serious. I was using that as a segment.
Yeah, we
segue.
can-
Did you want to talk about your motor
Yeah.
swap?
Sure, we could do that. So, 240s all back together. Literally, completely, turnkey, running, ready to go. Except one bolt. It's just a really important bolt.
Yeah.
So,
The one bolt you can't not have.
yeah. So, I had it all back together. Everything's running good. Sounded great. No oil leaks. I had one AN fitting that was bad, so I had to replace it, which is why I asked you guys on
Where'd you
Saturday.
end up finding that?
Carl's.
Okay, so they do. have
Carl's
ANs.
carries all that stuff. You just walk in there and say, I need a dash 10 90-degree hose end fitting. And they're like, well, okay, great.
Noted.
Walks in the back, brings it out. Give me monies.
So what
cash.
are they not doing now?
It's Carl's Customs now. I don't know what they're doing.
So you can go to Carl's Customs and buy parts because
Yeah, the
they sold.
the showroom's completely open.
I don't know what they sold KMJ then.
It was really...
I don't think
Hopes
they
and
sold,
dreams?
I don't think they sold KMJ anything.
No, they did. KMJ bought part of that business.
I know, but I don't.
I honestly have no clue. Their website's still up. They
I
were
kind of
open.
wonder if they didn't, if that deal didn't fall through,
Oh,
or if the deal was rescinded, or if Carl's bought it back.
Yeah, because it's not Carl's
Or-
Performance anymore. It's Carl's Custom.
that's
Or
what
it-
they sold them was Carl's Performance.
Yeah, the building's all open. Nothing's changed. Like, I walked in there Saturday because
Yeah, they're still doing their.
I walked, like, it's in the middle of the Iowa State game. And I'm just like, I kind of lost interest in the game. It wasn't, like, it didn't really pick up until, of course, after I stopped watching.
Shocking.
But so I was like, I watched for like 2 hours. I'm like, you know what? I got all this other shit I need to be doing. So I call him like, hey, do you have these fittings? Like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I'll be right in. So I drive in there.
Because circle track cars are built on AN fittings.
And I'm convinced they're closed because there's nobody there. And I walk in and I walk around the whole showroom. It's not there. Then finally someone comes out from the back like, hey, how can I help? I was, well, I need an AN fitting. I called earlier. Oh, yeah. He whips out a catalog and points to which one I need and goes to the back, grabs it. Yeah, they're open all day Saturday.
Weird.
On Labor Day weekend.
Super weird.
So I could get my stuff all back together.
I think they sold him a name.
I think they did too. That
but
business
KMJ didn't do anything with
business looks the same.
I kind of wonder if it fell through.
No, I just Googled Carl Performance and it says to cease operations.
Yeah. But now Carl's Customs, that's up and running.
Yeah, because they're still doing engines and cars and all that stuff.
I believe so,
But I
yeah.
thought they weren't selling parts anymore to consumers. But apparently they are.
They are.
Or if you go in there and ask for something, they will sell it to you.
I bought it. They have a showroom full of stuff.
That's
They're not.
so
They're not going
confusing.
to tell you that your money's no good here. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
that's confusing.
I was ready to
Shit.
drive to Ames to get that fitting that day.
Whatever.
But yeah, so I got it all back together. It was running. Just basically letting it get warmed up, make sure nothing's leaking before I take it out for a test drive and break the engine in. And noticed that there's some coolant leaking. So I kind of traced it back all the way up the side it's like coming from by the starter. I'm like, well, this can't be good. So I'm looking at it, and then I'm looking at the block. I'm like, well, is there like a freeze plug that could have corroded that's leaking? No.
Stupid.
Then all the fittings on the side are good. The coolant gauge sender unit thing, that's not leaking. I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And sure enough, I find it. It's coming out from beside the head.
Fuck.
Right by the gasket. I'm like, you motherfucker. So everything's new, which is really frustrating. So then I go and I'm like, so we'll just sanity check it. And I start tightening bolts. And I start in the back, real tight. Like, I'm not going to keep torquing it, but just make sure that it's tight. And I get to the second one, and I go like a little turn. And all of a sudden, spin!
Fuck.
This motherfucker just came out. And I just pull it out, and sure enough, it's the whole threads.
Yeah,
we found the yield strength of the threads, Jesus. And it wasn't in the bolt. So yeah, I pulled all of my threads out of cylinder. Was that 7? No, 5. Cylinder 5. So
Joys.
Yeah. So I didn't like scream. I didn't burn it to the ground. I didn't cry.
You're a liar.
No, I was so at a loss of words. I just looked at it.
Screamed and cried all at the
I
same
would have been
time.
like, "This is my life. This is my luck right now."
My weekend wasn't any better, Robbie.
So
It's
I looked it up, and I was like, well, like helicoil, or like, what are people doing? And then Time Cert is the only, based on the internet, the GM certified insert that's okay to replace threads in the head or in the block. So I look it up, and of course, it's a great kit. It's
$500.
It's $540.
Better be a great kit.
It's perfect. It's designed specifically for this engine. All I have to do is buy it, and it comes with like 6 inserts.
It's just money.
It's great.
Yeah.
Thank God I found one for sale used. Someone had bought one, used one insert, and then threw it up on Facebook.
For how much?
$160.
Oh, hell yeah. Where? How far do you have to go?
It's coming from St. Louis as we speak. But of course, again, my luck, the tracking number's not working.
So is it coming?
It's a picture. He sent me the picture of the receipt.
Okay.
So I know that he sent it.
Yeah.
We were texting while he was at the UPS store shipping it. And I texted him there like, hey, man, you might want to hang on to that receipt. There's no updates on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like the AccuSump thing where I totally got fucked. This one's been square so far. It's just.
Did you get your money back on that?
It's still in the process.
Oh, Jesus.
It's in the resolution process.
I love how they can take it away from me immediately, but I can't get it back for 10 to 14 business days.
But I do have her home address and phone number and email if anyone wants to really start fucking with people.
And she's not that far away from us if we got to go.
I do know where that address is.
Have a chit-chat.
But, yeah, so hopefully that's here this week. But, yeah, just like a helicoil. So then you drill it out, tap it, put your insert in with red Loctite. And then when you put in your head bolt, the next day, it actually like presses out and like anchors the insert into your block. Plus the red Loctite doesn't hurt. So hopefully I can do that without having to pull my fucking engine again. And if it had to be one cylinder, this is the best one because it's got a perfect line of sight behind my shock tower. So like it's wide open. So
at least you're not working on an F body because that'd be nearly under the cowl even.
Yeah, there's no way no way you'd be able to fix that. So we'll see what else I can find once I fix that and see what else is leaking and see if I'm shit out of luck elsewhere. But
how you're kind of getting a crunch time, aren't you?
Racing is going to be a week from the day it comes out. This comes out.
Are you still planning on?
I'll be there no matter what. But,
right, I know that. I figured that, but
yeah, no, I'll be there. So,
okay.
It'll be fun.
You know, I changed spark plugs in an aluminum head car the other day, and I was super fucking paranoid about pulling.
Timestart makes a kit for that too.
For spark plugs?
Yep.
Weird.
Yep.
I'm sure it happens all the time, but I was super fucking paranoid of pulling threads.
Use anti-seize on things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, but now they're saying don't use anti-seize.
Who is?
The spark plug manufacturers.
Why?
I don't fucking know. Well, because morons pull the threads out because there's no resistance, and they just
keep going
zip that thing through there, and they pull the threads out. That's when, and then I was like second
you're
guessing.
You're not a moron.
I know, but then I was second guessing anything,
you
like everything I do, because Champion's like, don't use anti-seize, and my whole fucking life I've been told to use anti-seize on spark plugs. Like I started into it, didn't have them, and left and got it.
As far as I'm concerned, if you're putting a steel bolt or a steel threaded thing into an aluminum thread, and you want it to come out again someday, you should use anti-seize. Like I understand not using it with head bolts or head studs.
Sure.
I get that. Mm-hmm. But, like, obviously you're going to use red Loctite if that's what they tell you to use. But, like, when I put my coilovers together, I use it all the time. Like, I think it's...
I've never not used it.
Yeah.
And I still used it.
Aluminum. I use it all the time when I was fixing shit on the Audi.
But then, like, I don't know. Then I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why are they telling me not to use it? Why is shit different than it used to be?
I use it on wheel studs.
That's a good one.
I don't... Like on the race car, I use it on wheel studs on the race car. Just because I want it to come on and off. Like, I'm going to go and torque it, you know. Yeah. So I know it's not going to come off. But when it comes off, I want it to come off.
Right.
And I don't want it to come off with
threads.
You know, Robbie style. So.
I don't know. It was frustrating.
Yeah, that's dumb. I think I'm going to keep doing it.
I'm pretty sure it's because people, when I was like really Googling and getting into it because I couldn't understand why they were telling me not to use it, I found a guy that was a pro mechanic, and he's like, because people are fucking stupid and they just torque the shit out of the spark plugs and they pull the threads out because when there's no resistance, people have no finesse and they just pull the threads straight out.
So I did a bunch of work on my Blazer this weekend because that kind of changed my... Are you good, Robbie?
Yeah, I got nothing else to say.
Okay, so my dad came and picked up my old Blazer and towed it home when we went to the air show. When they came down here for the air show, he came down here with truck and trailer and took my Blazer home. And so this weekend, long weekend, let's get some shit done. So he took that Blazer home, and when he looked at it, we kind of decided, you know what? This Blazer is in as good, if not better shape than the one we bought that didn't have a motor. And we decided that swapping a transmission and fixing a brake line is probably easier than pulling a motor and putting it in that one. Also, when they pulled the motor out of that, they kind of did it with total disregard.
Just cut things.
Well, they didn't cut shit, but like they didn't like...
You're definitely missing bolts and other
well, and I should have all those parts, right?
You should.
But apparently they must have like cut something because like my dad said he comes because we decided we were going to take parts off of this thing, right? So like anything that we think might be usable or reusable or salvageable that I might need or we could sell.
Yep.
We're pulling off of it. So my dad was kind of doing that while Josh and I were swapping transes. And my dad comes in there and he goes, I realized that we definitely made the right decision when there was only 2 plugs in the ECU and there's supposed to be 4.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, we made the right choice.
Decision. Yes. So, but the Blazer that I had already, when I bought it from a kid who was a mechanic at the Ford dealership in Boone.
Yep.
And I know that when he bought it, he kind of went through it and replaced a bunch of random shit on it, like gaskets and like a couple of the coolant lines and some of the oil cooler lines that were leaking, and he just kind of went through it with a semi fine tooth comb and fixed a bunch of shit. And then his wife drove it for a couple of months while they were looking for another car or some, I don't know, he gave me some song and dance. It's been a while, it doesn't really matter. But I think that he doesn't believe in torque spec either, because everything that I kind of remember him saying he touched was wildly tight.
Oh, a professional mechanic, you say? Over tightening shit?
Wildly
That's
tight.
not possible.
It's too common.
I don't know what the deal with that is. They just tell them in school just to put a
No,
breaker bar on shit and just crank on
They
it.
frickin' beat it into our heads.
Why do they
Torque
still
spec,
do it?
Everything. Because you're paid by how fast you get your job done.
So I think he's in there with an
damn
air
it.
impact going zip, 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 zip.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're probably
And
right.
then, uggada. All right, that one's tight. Let's go to the next one.
Oh, it makes me
Because
so
it's
angry.
faster.
Makes me so angry.
You get paid by how fast you get your job done.
So that was a treat. I have decided that anybody who can be a career mechanic is the world's most patient and possibly idiotic person.
Yeah. No.
I have an undying respect for all of you guys, because I know we have a handful of you who are professional mechanics that listen to this show. I don't know how you do it day in and day out. I've never been so frustrated in my entire life than just by the stupidest things.
Mm-hmm.
So the Blazer, turns out that's a 4L60 in there. So
Okay.
it's the transmission we all know and love here.
yeah, it's a great.
It's the same one that was behind the LS2 in my Trailblazer, more or
Yes.
less, with a
Yes.
modified third gear or whatever.
So it turns out that the 4L60 that was in the Blazer that we just bought, rebuilt, right? Aftermarket rebuilt, like it'd been painted black,
Oh.
which I think is like the way that, according to Josh said, like most all of the rebuilt trans that he's ever seen, they always, for whatever reason, they paint them black. Same with the torque converters. Like that's just kind of how you know it's been rebuilt. Also, the one that came out of the Blazer had a genuine GM part sticker on it with a date code of 2001.
Huh.
Or 2000, no, it was 2005. The truck was built in 99. So both of the trans that I removed that was bad and the trans that I put in that truck, both had been rebuilt at some point in time already.
Good grief.
Right? And the Blazer that we pulled the trans out of only has like 120,000 miles on it.
It's brand new.
Well, yeah. Now I have no idea how many miles are on the trans. It actually makes me feel a little better about it.
Yes.
Because it's probably significantly less.
Right.
They told, I don't know that I believe anything that these people told my dad, because they told my dad that motor had only been out of that truck for a short period of time, and all of that motor was in the back of the truck, and all of those parts were full of water.
Oh.
Like the torque converter was full of water.
Oh.
So we had to use my old torque converter.
Yep.
And like the amount of rust and water that was in those parts, that engine clearly sat out of that truck disassembled because it's completely tore down.
Yeah.
It's a short block and a bunch of parts. The block is cracked.
Oh. That was a legitimate concern for me. That I thought my block was cracked, and that's where the water was coming from.
Yeah. But that truck clearly tore apart for longer than they said they did. So whatever, it doesn't matter. But they told my dad they bought it at 117, and I think it had about 120, 122 on it. So they didn't have it for very long. Didn't put a lot of miles on it. But like, so when we're pulling the transmission out, the neutral safety switch that was on the old transmission, they destroyed. There's two electrical plugs on the back of it,
Yep.
and they were completely tore off of the neutral safety. It was just the pins. It was gone. And we're like, Jesus fucking Christ, you know? What did you guys do to this thing?
Yep.
And so we're like, well, I guess we'll have to reuse the neutral safety switch. That's fine. We'll just take it off the trans. You know, no big deal. So we were going to pull it off of there. Well, we couldn't get the plugs off because apparently GM's infinite fucking wisdom, they glue them on there.
Why?
There was glue in those plugs. And I Googled it, and I think that's factory.
What a pain in the
People
ass.
recommended using a heat gun, just real lightly.
Yep.
And dude, it didn't take 10 seconds, and it just popped right off.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I'll be damned. That's weird.
Why would you do that?
Because it's GM.
Doesn't make any sense.
But there's a bolt behind the neutral safety, or behind the plugs on the neutral safety switch that is holding it to the trans.
Yeah.
So at first we were just like, well, we can't get these plugs off. We'll just take it off the trans, right? No, you can't do that because there's a bolt behind them. And they have to come off.
Weird.
Jesus Christ. What are you guys thinking? Why would you do that?
Kept falling off in testing, so somebody glued it on there.
It'll stay now.
Why? Out of control.
Yeah. It's how to go. The rest of it.
So it's swapped. It took all of Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and my dad had already... So the trans was like literally hanging in by its wiring
Yep.
in that other truck. Like the mount was gone and everything. My dad's like, I can't believe it didn't fall out from underneath the truck when I was towing it home. Like he's like, I got lucky. And he had it pulled on there backwards because that was how it was... It was nosed into wherever it was, so he just pulled it on because it didn't have an engine. So
Yeah, just back it in.
who cares about, making sure you got weight on the tongue or whatever, or not too much weight on the tail.
Right.
And he said, I can't believe it didn't fall out. And if it would have fallen, it would have fallen out,
Yeah, it would have gone
tumbled down the highway
to the car next behind him.
When he got back to the house, the spare tire that's normally up underneath behind the rear bumper was laying on the trailer. The steel cable had rusted off during the trip and it fell free. So if you would have had it spun around like you would normally load a car on a trailer, that would have went down the interstate.
Jeez.
So that was kind of when we decided that maybe the one I have is in better shape because they both have rust in the same spots on the body itself, but underneath, especially from the rear axle back, that truck is demolished.
Ooh.
I mean, it's rusty. It was bad, except for the rear bumper itself.
Yeah, so the rear bumper looks nice.
Yeah, and so that one's a two-tone truck. It's white on top, and then the bottom quarter of it is the same tan as my truck.
Tan,
gold, whatever you want to call it.
Huh.
I don't know, whatever that truck color is. I'm clearly not the color expert here.
No, we've argued that thing.
Yeah. So, but that one has a Reese receiver hitch on it.
Okay.
And so we just pulled the bumper off and put it on mine because my bumper was actually a little rustier than that one.
Yep.
And the receiver hitch is bolted to the bumper mounts and the bumper. So we just took the whole bumper off and swapped them on the truck. Now I got
and it's the right color.
And it's the right color. And now I have a legit receiver hitch on the back of that truck.
Nice.
So I can do car dolly things. I might actually be able to tow the Omni.
That makes me happy.
So trans is swapped. We're good. We had originally planned on putting the transfer case that was in my truck to begin with back in it because it was good and we knew it was good.
Yep.
And somewhere in the confusion of all the things, we mixed up the transfer cases.
Oh, shit.
So you got to pull that one.
Well, so apparently when it broke in 4 low because it was in 4 low when we put it in the truck and the motor wouldn't change the transfer case. So we swapped motors because there's just an electric motor on the transfer case that changes it from 2-wheel to 4 high to 4 low.
Yep.
And so we took my electric motor off of my transfer case and put that on the other one. And while we were there, Josh switched it to 2 high manually, and I'm just not going to touch it.
No.
Just going to go with it.
Just going to go with it for now.
Gotcha.
Because the front drive shaft, the one that goes from the transfer case to the front differential, it came out cleanly, but when I tried to put it back in, I accidentally popped one of the caps off of the end of the U-joint and lost one of the needle bearings.
Damn it.
One. And I could not find it. But my dad had already bought new U-joints for both drive shafts.
Yep.
Well, so, okay, no big deal. Well, I took it over there to the bench, and I was looking at the box. I was like, man, that's a big box compared to the U-joint that's on here. Pull the U-joint out. It's legit 3/4 of an inch taller than the U-joint that's in, just sitting. When I had the axle or the drive shaft sitting on the bench,
Yep.
that U-joint was clearly different. And it was 5:00 Sunday afternoon, and my dad bought it from
On
Arnold's.
Labor Day weekend.
So that's not going to happen. So we just didn't put the front drive shaft in for the time being.
Gotcha.
I'm going to fix that and then put it in. Is what it is. I never ever put that truck in 4 anyway. I think maybe I did once or twice. Maybe. But I don't see a need for it for the most part for what I do with it.
But it's back together and it runs.
So we drove it down the road. Seems to run just fine. It had an EGR issue before. Obviously, that didn't go away. But all of the old motor from the new truck was in the back of it. So I just went over there and pulled the EGR valve off the top of the intake manifold, and it's right there on the front of the motor, and swapped them. And Josh checked it with his fancy fucking Snap-on code reader, and codes are gone.
Perfect.
And for the first time in forever, I own a vehicle with a dash that has no warning light on it.
That's nice.
Woohoo!
Even I don't have that.
Yeah. So, it's back together. It's still at my dad's house, just because he didn't want to send me home in it and have something go weird with it.
Yeah.
With the kid
On Sunday night.
on Monday.
Monday night.
So, he's going to drive it around for a little
give it a
while.
shakedown.
And then, not this weekend, because this weekend I'll probably be at Road America. But next weekend, I'm going to go back. I'm going to tear whatever I think I want to keep off of that other one. And then we're going to junk it. And then I'll probably bring it home.
Nice. That's awesome.
So, the tires that are on that other truck are probably 2/3. And mine are probably can make it through the winter, but that's about all they're going to do. But the wheels that are on the other one, like one of them, probably 1/3 of one of the lips is gone.
Ooh.
I can't believe it holds bead. So the wheels are trash, but I'm going to keep the tires.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's pretty much all I'm going to keep off of it. We already gutted the interior. You guys remember my cluster was fucked up? We took that out. I don't know if it works or not. We're going to try. They had an aftermarket Pioneer head unit in there, which is much nicer than the one I had in mind. So I stole that and I already swapped it.
Nice.
I don't really know what else I'm going to do with it. Probably nothing.
No, just drive it.
It's done.
Hell yeah.
I have a Blazer again. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not happy about it. It's one of those.
It's better than the other option.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah. So hopefully I can find a car. Car dollies are fucking annoying.
It's true.
Like a kind of okay one's $800, and anything that's less than $800 is not worth buying. And a new one's only like $1,500, like a brand new one.
And like a decent trailer's only like
$2,000.
$2,000, but I can't put a trailer
I know you
behind that
can't.
truck. The only way I could put a trailer behind that truck and feel okay with it is if I bought an aluminum one, and that's not $2,000.
No sir. No sir.
So I have to stick with the car dolly life.
I get it.
For the time being. So I actually feel a little bit better knowing that that's a 4L60, because I thought it was some bullshit like middle or like worse trans than that. Clearly 4L60s are problematic because I have 2 rebuilt ones.
That happens, man.
And one of them is junk. But I do feel better knowing it's the same ish, heavy duty ish transmission that comes in like bigger full size trucks and stuff like that. So I feel more comfortable with the towing idea on this thing than I did before.
Yeah, and you're not pulling an insane amount of weight.
Yeah, there's no tongue weight on a car dolly.
No, you're fine.
That thing, I don't even think I'll really know it's back there. So it got 20 miles to the gallon,
Hot damn.
which it's never got before.
That's good.
The cat that was on there, Josh had my dad's trouble light and started sticking it in there, and it went all the way in there. So
Someone gutted that at some point.
I just think that it just gutted itself
out.
over time.
Yeah.
And the one that was on, we ended up when we were trying to tear the exhaust apart, we broke 2 of the studs, and we couldn't for the life of us get them to drive out the back because we were just going to drive them out and bolt it together.
Yep.
So then I went over to the other truck and got to looking at that, and it was an aftermarket cat, and somebody had already done the stud removal and bolted it, so we stole it.
Nice.
And it's a fairly new cat, and so my cat inefficiency codes are gone,
Nice.
and the truck seems to run great
That's awesome.
for the 8 to 10 miles I drove it. So, knock on wood.
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll see how it goes. The Focus is fucked, though, again.
Really?
What happened to that?
Did we talk about this? I don't think we've talked about this because I think last time I gave a Focus update, we thought the Focus was good. Focus is not good.
Not good.
No. So the transmission input speed sensor, I found out late last night because I was fucking pissed and I was just dealing with it instead of sleeping like I should have been. It's this input speed sensor on the trans is not communicating at all. And so I don't know if it's a wiring issue. My dad thinks it's a wiring issue. I haven't had time to look at it, obviously, because I looked at that at like 10:30 last night, and I'm here right now.
Yeah.
So maybe tomorrow. We'll see. It's either a wiring issue or a $30 sensor. And
Then maybe it works.
God willing, I'm done with that fucking thing, too. But I am vanless now.
Somebody bought the van, or did you crush the van?
It's still in my driveway, but it is when I get a day where I don't have anything to do and I can go, it's going to the crusher. I think it runs well enough to get me there. That's all I care about. But that means that I'm no longer Soccer Datum.
It's true.
Which means I need a new Instagram handle.
You do.
And I've been thinking about it, and I don't know what to do.
The group
Suggestions.
will figure it out.
Yeah, the group will figure it out.
So
out.
this is my call for a new Instagram handle from all you terrible, terrible, evil people. I'm probably not going to pick any of them.
Nope.
But let's hear them. Bring on the new Instagram handles. I would like to know what
That'll
you
be a
think
fun
I should
thread.
do. Yeah, it'll be great. I'm super excited. So I want to know. Let's hear it.
Oh, we'll have to come up with something clever. It's like,
I had a few.
I'm terrible at this.
I
I
had
can
a
never
few,
come up
but
with
now I
any.
can't remember what they were, which is the story of my life. I don't remember what it was. But yeah.
Sweet. Moving in the right direction, at least. Hopefully.
I'm not convinced of that, but it kind of sort of feels like it, so I guess we'll see.
Life will find a way to dick you before
Fuck
it's
me
all over with.
Yeah, I know. Don't even get
Just
my-
as soon as you get a little bit of hope, bam! Right in the dick.
Katie's already talking about how she misses her van and she wants a van back. And I was
Oh my god, you better shut that shit down.
Yeah.
No, he loved the stow and go
no,
seating.
I'm in on the van life, but I also need the Blazer, and I don't want to drive the Blazer to work because it got terrible fucking gas mileage. So until I have a job where a vehicle is provided for me, she's probably just gonna have to live the Blazer life.
That's fair.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
So
Did you do something fun on Monday, though?
I went to Solo Nationals and I gave Johan a hug.
Nice.
Is that fun?
No.
It's fun-ish.
It's fun. It's better than giving that jerk Adam Jabay a hug.
don't-
That's right.
I
He
wouldn't
doesn't
know.
give hugs.
I wouldn't know. He never hugged me.
Twice he avoided you.
that's
Are we going to see
hilarious.
him again? Are you going to see him again
You
this
guys
year?
can come with
Ever?
me. You guys can come with
Ever?
me this weekend. We'll go.
Ever?
to
I was leaning
America.
towards no to
Ever.
the answer to
I'll
the
never
question.
never
Right.
see
Which
him
I
ever.
feel like he betrayed you, therefore I feel betrayed.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
a team.
That seems ridiculous to me.
Maybe I'll see him at PRI if we go.
You guys, if we go, we
Is
already
he
have-
going? We have accommodations.
We have
right?
accommodations.
Yeah, we're going.
Robbie.
I got to look at
We're gonna,
what the
we're
date
gonna
is.
be at
I'll be
La
sick.
Casa de
I'll be
Petrol
violent.
Box.
I'll be
It's gonna be
violently
great.
sick.
Was that the name of that stupid Mexican restaurant that we went to?
No, Casa de Petro.
How dare you speak of Petrol Box in a negative tone? I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun.
Where are we going this year?
For food?
Yeah.
We'll probably do pizza again.
Giordano's.
Yeah, Giordano's
I
was
mean,
good.
why fuck with tradition, Robbie?
Yeah, that was a great meal. We
Our
had a great
tradition is
time.
a different place every time.
1 year is tradition, Robbie.
No.
No. The first year, again, we trusted Adam
We
Jabay.
yeah,
and he
see what
fucked
happens
us.
when you trust Adam Jabay? You go
He
to Acapulco Joe's.
Fucked us, and I had fajitas with mushrooms in them, and that is not correct, sir. That's bullshit.
And I brought him presents, and he still
That
just
brings
took
up
him and left.
that brings up something I had thought of. So last week I stopped at Burger King before I came here, and I saw that they have tacos on the menu.
Yep.
And I was like,
They're only $1.
I was like, that can't possibly be good. But
They're awesome.
But like, I had a burger at a taco joint, and it was terrible. So maybe I should have a
Taco at a
taco at a
burger?
burger joint and see if that can redeem
That'll be good.
the opposite.
you
No.
said they're good?
I haven't had one yet because I ordered one and they didn't give it to me.
those sons of
bitches.
bitches.
And then I went back in with my receipt, and then as I'm walking through the door, I realized I didn't even fucking put it in.
This bitch.
Motherfucker.
This
I
bitch.
just left. Well, I was so mad.
Yeah, that's kind of my fast food life in general.
Just like,
Never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's too much work.
I got a gripe with Wendy's too, but that's for a different day.
Yep.
Is it though? That might be for today.
This is
All right,
the
fuck
day.
it. So-
This is the day.
I want to hear this.
So the Baconator and the son of Baconator, which is a slightly smaller
Did
version of the
did they
Baconator.
fucking swap you, dude?
No, so
Oh, okay.
they're the same menu item. They're both a number 5,
Yeah.
right? The
Okay.
Baconator and the son of Baconator are both a number 5. So if you go in there and you tell the idiot behind the counter that you want a number 5, which is he'll automatically assume you want the Baconator, which is not only the bigger sandwich that I don't want, but also the more expensive sandwich that I can't afford, or choose not to at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Choose not to afford.
you can afford the sandwich,
Yeah, you're right, but I don't want to. Because I won't eat it all.
right?
Because it's fucking massive. It's like 3 patties and like 12 slices of bacon.
Fuck yeah.
It's so good.
It's the Baconator.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Sounds great.
It's so good. You're right.
I don't eat any fries because I eat just the
I know.
Baconator.
I like the fries, so I get a
forget the
son of
fries.
Baconator and eat the fries. So when I go in there, I tell them I want a son of Baconator, and then usually they ask me combo or sandwich, and I tell them combo. Well, this bitch didn't ask me. He didn't ask me if I wanted the combo, so I just assumed that he
No.
did
You can't
give me
assume.
the combo, and then he like gave me my receipt and like walks away, and he didn't give me my drink cup, and I just about said something, and then I looked at my receipt and I realized that it was suspiciously cheap, and I was like,
This
son of a bitch, I'm just getting a sandwich.
Gotta have a water
So
glass.
now, not only I wanted the smaller sandwich so I could eat the fries and not be hungry. Now I don't get the fries and I got the smaller sandwich, which means I'm gonna be hungry.
Betrayal.
And
That's
because I'm
betrayal.
painfully Midwest and small town, I can't
Go back and ask.
I can't go like and say, hey, this isn't right. I just have to take my sandwich and leave.
Yep. Because that's our fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, that taco was your fault,
That's
Robbie.
my fault. I
it's
didn't.
my fault that he didn't put it on my order.
If I would have paid attention to the screen, I would have known there was no taco on it.
Exactly. If I'd have looked at the screen instead of assuming that he could do his job right
my
the
fault.
first time, it's my fault. Robbie's right, and I can't be mad at him for that. So I have to take my sandwich, and I have to be hungry. That's my punishment.
It's true.
Welcome to being me
From the
and
Midwest,
Robbie
yeah.
mostly.
I did that.
I would have fucking said something.
I did that at Taco John's once, where I ordered like they had the buckets of chicken at the time. The same thing, like a really weird.
Oh yeah, the crispy chicken.
Yep.
That's what I still order.
Yep. So I went in there and I just wanted the barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
They gave me habanero, and I was not prepared for that. I get back to my desk and I take a bite, and I'm like, no.
Oh, Jesus.
But you're like not even at the restaurant at that
I'm
point.
back.
You're
I'm back at work.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
then
you're
you're
just
your
gonna
I
shits
have
were
made,
fucked.
I made it halfway through before I was like, I'm done.
This is it.
Now I'm hungry because I only got half of the meal.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel you, Robbie. I feel you. It was the Wendy's right across from where you work.
Never go there.
Clearly.
Ever. Never
Clearly.
ever
What the
go
fuck
there.
is with that Wendy's?
It's no, it's never the same people working there. Like they can't keep anybody working there. And then it takes them like 30 fucking minutes to make a burger.
That's everywhere, Robbie.
No.
Yes.
Wendy's I can go into any Wendy's and say, I would like a number 3. And they hand me a number 3 like a timely fashion. This one, when I'm on my fucking lunch break, I go in there and say, hey, I'd like a number 3. And then 20 minutes later, they're like, oh, here, it's cold, but here it is. All right, thanks. Back to fucking work with my cold goddamn sandwich. Never go to that Wendy's.
When I went to Wisconsin with my dad, we stopped at Wendy's and I accidentally said the wrong number. I wanted I wanted the 10-piece nuggets.
Spicy nuggets.
No, not the spicy nuggets. I'm a spice bitch.
He doesn't
Can't
like
do
spice.
it. I can't like. I
Oh,
don't,
by the way, Burger King doesn't have spicy nuggets anymore, in case you're wondering.
I'm not mad about it. It's fine.
This bitch.
It's
But
fucking upsetting.
but why a 10-piece nugget meal is not number 10 on every single
That's a good point, actually.
I don't know, but it used to be.
If they only have 8 meals, they should still make it 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. That's it.
It used to be. Wendy's, the 10-piece nugget meal used to be number 10. Well, now it's a spicy chicken sandwich.
God damn it.
And I didn't catch it. And I took like 2 bites of that spicy chicken sandwich, and I was like, well, Dad, we can just leave. I'm going to be hungry.
Oh, God
You can't
damn
go
it.
back. You can't.
No,
You can't order
it was
another
my
meal.
fault.
And I have too much pride to go
and
back.
I didn't catch it until like I went up to get he called my number.
Yep.
And I went up there and I was like, there's not a nugget meal here. Like, and I almost said something to him, and then I looked up at the menu and I was like,
Son of a bitch.
10-piece nugget meals number 8. Son of a bitch.
Oh man,
Why is life so hard?
it is hard.
It's like all these things you got to remember.
It's not a number 10 at McDonald's anymore either.
That seems stupid.
that's upsetting.
McDonald's should know better.
I am actually very pro this, like the new way that you go into
touchscreen
McDonald's.
thing.
Don't talk to anybody.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's
That's
the
great.
best. Except that multiple times I've gone in there, they don't have the little number thing that I need. You know, like because you're supposed to take a number and type it. So I just type in a random number and wait until I see a confused person walking around with a meal that looks like mine.
That's mine.
Hey, that's me over here because you didn't stock your numbers.
It's okay because that person's making $17 an hour now, but they only have to pay one of them, so it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is what you get when you want your minimum wage raised. You get less employees.
More computers.
More computers.
More computers, which I'm not mad about. If only we could figure out a way to automate the food making system so they don't fuck that up too.
It's coming.
We can engineer.
McDonald's is probably working on that
Yeah,
right
we
now.
can engineer that
I
pretty
feel
easily.
like that's easier.
Yeah, it is. So what'd you do on Monday?
So I went to Solo Nats, right?
Okay.
And I've been to Solo Nats a handful of times. There's really not a lot that changes from year to year. If you want to hear how I feel about Solo Nats, you can go back to last year or the year before and hear that. But there is one quick thing I want to talk about because it's hilarious. So a friend of mine who I met while I was at Super Lap Battle this year
Yep.
in February, he is a Solo Nationals regular. He's a kart mod driver. Likes the kart things. So he bought what Robbie has posted on the screen here. He bought this wild A mod, right?
Okay.
So he lives in Missouri. Nationals in Lincoln. That came from Washington.
Okay.
He's on his way home. So he
bought it.
so he bought a $2,000 broken A mod.
Okay.
If you switch to the picture, the other picture I sent you, Robbie,
It's broken.
What would be the passenger side if it was a real car?
Yeah.
The
the rear control.
control arm where it mounts to the frame that busted,
Yeah, it's broken.
and it was purchased broken. He knew it was broken when he bought it.
Yeah.
This actually popped up on Facebook and got shared around a couple of times to me from a couple of other people. And I was like, oh man, it's super cool. Like if it wasn't in Washington, it'd be even super cooler. And then I find like Tim posted like, yeah, I bought this thing. I was like, son of a bitch. That's pretty cool. But him and his sister apparently drove from Missouri, or I think he picked her up in Lincoln. And then they drove to Washington and picked this thing up and drove back home. And he stopped in Lincoln,
Yep.
where he left his camper
Ah.
and his cart.
Yep.
And someone's buying his cart at the end of Nationals so that he has room because he has a toy hauler.
Yeah.
So he has room to put the A mod in the car or in the toy hauler so he can get it back to Missouri. So he's done all of this in like the span of like 4 days.
I love it.
And since it's broken, he found a welder at Solo Nats
Yep.
because I mean,
You would.
Of course there are.
yeah, why wouldn't there be a welder at Solo Nats? Obviously, there's probably a dozen of them there.
Right.
So he fixed it real quick, but it's not a permanent fix.
It's a Band-Aid.
And
It'll get him there.
And where that mounts probably gets a lot of
Stress.
stress from the quadruple element wing that's on the back of that thing. And so rather than race it, he's continuing with the kart this year. And so he decided, well, it runs and I have it, so I'm just going to use it as my pit vehicle this year. And so he's just like cruising around paddock in that thing. Like, when he went to do his course walk, he fired that thing up. Dude, it's air shifted.
Oh.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's got this little itty bitty air compressor mounted right underneath the wing. Like if you go to the picture from the back, you can probably see the air compressor. And it's got like an 80 horsepower engine on it right now. He's going to put a liter bike engine on it.
Nice.
Bump that number up a little bit.
Yeah, just low.
Yeah. It's super rad. I super want it. It's
That'd be
so
a lot of
cool.
fun. That
it's
would be a
so
blast.
silly. It's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah, we all need that.
Yeah. Like, A-mods are really expensive, but a $2,000 A-mod I can get my head around. Like, I almost bought that Formula 440 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the main reason I shied away from it, and I've shied away from karts a couple of occasions that I've had the opportunity, is that there's zero suspension, and we live in Iowa, so our lots suck.
Yeah.
But that car has like full coilover setup.
Yep.
And it's not, I mean, I'm sure it's not a smooth ride.
It's not supposed to
It
be.
can't be that bad, right? It's got to be better.
It's got to be
than
better.
It's got to be better than a kart or a Formula 440.
Yep.
Agreed.
So, it's super cool. But he went to like the local Ace Hardware and bought letters so that he could spell out pit car to put on his front wing because he thought it was funny. He was mad that you go like with your golf cart, you're supposed to register that you have one. They give you a little tag. And he was mad that it wasn't a pit car sticker because he wanted to put that on the A-mod. So I just thought it was funny that that's what he's cruising around paddock in this like ridiculous car. So I told him he should try and figure out a way to engineer his. So his cart sits on a little cart and it's wheeled, and you like pull it by hand up to the track, and then you and your buddy pick the cart off of the cart and put it on the ground, and you go and race. And I was like, dude, you got to figure out a way to hook that to the back of the A-mod. pull that up to pit or up to staging with the A-mod, because that would be the best.
Definitely.
So Nationals is crazy.
Yeah.
People is crazy.
People are crazy.
Apparently the government decided that the week before Nationals was a good time to grind an inch or two off the top of most of the surface there
Oh my gosh.
and not replace it yet. And so,
Nice.
So it's like most of the paddock area is rough ground cement. And so like everyone's pretty pissed about that.
What a nightmare.
But it's super dusty.
Yeah. Of course it would be.
It's not good.
That's too bad.
Everybody, like a bunch of people were driving around with dust masks on and stuff like that. I was like, it might be a little far.
I'd be like a bandit with a bandana.
It might be a little far. Like I saw someone with like a full like
Respirator.
respirator, and I was like, bro,
Come on, man.
come on, man.
Not painting.
I've breathed worse than this at work in the last week. You're fine.
Nah, any excuse to wear a bandana like a bandit.
Well, that's different. That's fine. Do that. But a respirator, get out of here. Who wants to drive around all day with a respirator on?
Nobody.
That's
I
terrible.
don't even like paying with respirators.
Yeah,
It's all
you just
sweaty.
hold your breath. It's fine.
No, because then you get all like, hey, guys.
What's up, guys? So, yeah. Like I said, if you want to hear how I feel about Solo Nationals, go listen to last year's episode, the week after Labor Day.
There you go. I couldn't tell you what number that is.
I don't care.
It's not important.
Go find it. You're not doing anything important anyway.
just go listen.
Last year was the controversy.
Oh, yeah.
That we did.
I do remember
we kind
that.
of talked about at length.
Yep, that was a good one.
So
Good times.
Right on.
that's all I got.
What'd you do, Michael?
We can skip me because we're
What?
gonna roll along here.
Yeah,
Fine.
he can do an opener next week. We want to talk about his Porsche friends,
I know I do.
so we'll do that
I can
next
do
week.
it. I can do it next week.
We'll do it next week.
Okay.
So that's how you bring the fans back. Oh, I know what else I forgot to talk about. We'll do that later too.
Is it good?
Well, when in the podcast group page, or
Yes.
the group,
Yes.
Daniel posted the tent on the Porsche, and
Ah.
I had said that I had solved all of our camping and RV issues.
Ooh,
That's good for when we talk about the Porsche.
that's
Right.
They come back.
We'll
for
we'll
that.
talk about that later. I said I was going to talk about it this week,
You
and I
lied.
lied to you because I'm not going to talk about it this week. I'll talk about it later.
That'll keep
I
them
like
coming
how
back.
I like how you didn't say next week either.
Later.
Later.
Some
Well,
other
'cause-
time when we remember.
Because next week we may or may not have a guest on, and
That's
then
true. Yeah, we don't know
if
if we'll
Michael's
talk about
doing
that.
his Porsche things
Yeah.
and we have the guest, there won't be time. So it could be the week after. The
Or
world-
never.
The world, I might forget.
I might forget.
It's fine.
I wouldn't worry about it.
But I fixed our problems, so we'll talk about
Perfect.
it later.
All right, news presented by Apex Pro. ApexTrackCoach.com. That's where you can get your unit, including the USB, the new USB interface.
Yep.
So check that out. Like I said last time, that is a more affordable option. That's not going to give you as much feedback or telemetry, obviously,
No.
as the regular Apex Pro unit. But
Oh, what?
It's real-time
Yeah,
feedback.
it's
then.
available
Oh,
now.
And
that's
engine
cool.
data.
yeah, give you engine data.
I didn't see that thing yet.
It's
Yeah,
great.
check it out.
I haven't used it yet, but it's super cool.
I haven't had time to read what he posted, but I saw that Andrew posted in the Apex Pro users group that they have partnered up with Harry's lap timer.
Nice.
And they're doing something related to that, which is a program that I have and have used extensively, and for a phone app is impressive. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what they're doing together because I like both of them.
That'll be good.
So check out apextrackcoach.com for the actual unit, the original Apex Pro unit, for real-time feedback while you're driving, and for quite useful telemetry information after you're driving, easily accessible through your phone. 10/10 at checkout will get you a free suction cup mount for your windshield. Just add both of those units, the unit and the suction cup mount, to your cart. Put the code in. It'll deduct the amount for the suction cup, and then you're off.
This would be a wonderful device for Time Trials Nationals, where they'll also be there doing demos and data reviews.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so if you have any questions, obviously you can get in touch with us. We'll get you in touch with Andrew, or Robbie could answer some of your questions.
I sure can.
If you're still on the fence, you can get in touch with...
Get off the fence. Buy it.
Andrew. Yeah. At the event. You can check one out. He can answer your questions there as well.
Yep.
Bugatti, it says that they're done with high-speed whatever stuff.
Records.
So they broke the 300-mile-an-hour mark.
At 304.
304. With an air quotes production car.
No.
It's a modified version of their production car.
If they're doing that means the Ford GT beat them.
I was going to say, which means the Ford beat them.
Yep. It's horse shit.
I guess this is a factory thing. It's a factory.
You know what we should do? Just thought of this.
Okay.
We should start a company that certifies all this shit. So when these assholes say that this is this is a production car, we'll go, no, it's not. Look at this list of things that you have to have for this to be a production car. You can go fuck yourself.
No, this is not a
They need a standard. We need a standardization organization for this shit. And that's us now.
Alpha went out and took the Giulia Quadrifoglio around the Nürburgring, and that was like a dude with like driving loafers and jean shorts or jeans.
Yes.
And he was just out there like whipping. And Porsche was all upset because they beat him. And Porsche's Panamera has like a cage, and a guy's in a fire suit with a helmet and a Hans and like the whole night. That's not a production car. It's got a cage in it.
Yep.
I respect you for adding the safety parts, but it's not a production car.
No.
That's what I'm saying. We got to start the organization to keep these people honest.
Yeah.
Because they're a bunch of lying assholes.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I think this one looks better.
It does look better.
But they're not going to make it.
I'm going to be honest. I still don't like it. But the back end of that car...
I like it a lot better than the Veyron.
I like this better than the standard Chiron.
That too.
I think I might still like the Veyron better.
Absolutely not.
Again, this is like comparing two generations of Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Yes.
Both choices are bad?
Both choices suck.
I won't... We're good there. We'll agree.
But yes, I just compared a Veyron and a
Cutlass.
Chiron to a Cutlass.
That's why they keep coming back.
But I like the back of this car. The long tail thing looks pretty cool.
Of course, I don't.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For some reason, that's not in that article.
Yeah.
There's another article that's in though.
So
important.
they've decided. Well, we broke 300 miles an hour.
We're done with records.
We're done with speed records.
What was really annoying is that they say that, and then in the same fucking breath, they're like, you know what? If we would have done what Koenigsegg did in Nevada, we would have been 15 miles an hour faster according to our calculations because we're at a different sea level. Fuck you, Bugatti.
So let Koenigsegg come on your track.
Exactly.
And, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Or do it. Take your car to Nevada. Take your car to Nevada. Your production car.
Right.
Because Koenigsegg's was a customer's car.
Yes. No, I'm
not some ringer that they set up before.
Right.
Yeah.
And how many runs did they get at it?
As many as they wanted to.
Right. They waited until it was just the right temperature, just the right air, wind, all that crap. And then is it in one way? Or did they do it in both directions? Because technically, in order for it to be a record by by what little standardizing body there is.
I don't think they did it both ways. I think they just did it on the track.
And then an average to speed.
Well, maybe that's why they're saying they're not doing speed records anymore.
Yeah, because they just
Can't do it twice.
They hit the speed on their track. That was it.
Yeah. Their track.
Yes, I don't know. It's a lot of asterisks next to that record.
Yeah.
I'd still rather have a Koenigsegg.
100%.
On non-production special Michelin tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
So,
What a fucking joke.
which I understand that because those tires, like Michelin will flat out, or whoever's tires were on the Koenigsegg, they're like, I don't know, that might not work very well for you guys. But
You're at the absolute tippy top of what that's capable of.
We don't know.
That is not within our safe parameters. But, I mean, they didn't die, so
True.
it's fine.
Well, it worked out fine. There's so
Plus,
much
it probably
worrying.
cost like 50 grand as soon as it was
now
done
I wonder,
with that run.
because like they've talked about an SUV, a Bugatti SUV,
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. Like I wonder what Volkswagen will do with Bugatti now. Like, because we're not Bugatti fans,
No, not really.
but I kind of like what it stood for.
Like the opulence, the ridiculousness,
Like they lost money on these cars, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of cool in this day and age, in this like the bottom line is the only thing that matters world.
right.
That we still got to do this, and I'm afraid that Volkswagen is going to fuck that up because they're going to do what they did to Porsche, which is they're going to add an SUV and all this crap so that they can make money on it.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
business.
You got to make money. I get that, but like at the same time, it was kind of cool that this was like. Yeah, so this is our research and development. Like this is what we are capable of doing. And, you know, some of this might trickle down a little bit,
Yep.
maybe. But like, yeah, we're losing money on these cars, but it's fine. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they just decided they didn't want to lose any more money.
Or they could have just made more of them.
I don't think they're gonna. Well, so I remember at the tail end of the Veyron production,
Yeah.
they were really struggling to sell the ones they had left,
That doesn't surprise me.
even though they only made so many.
Well, it was like the one that I saw when I was in California. She's like, we're going to sit on this for fucking ever.
Yeah,
We're never going to sell this car.
no,
Yikes.
but
It's not good.
Yeah, she was pissed that they traded in for a Bugatti.
I don't. They didn't say that Bugatti is done. They said they're done chasing speed records,
Right.
Which means they're not done with Bugatti. So what are they going to do next?
They're going to sell sunglasses.
That's $16,000 a pair.
And SUVs. Bring on the hybrids.
Yep.
So
Whatever. Bugatti.
yeah, I know.
BMW painted a car none more black.
Robbie, it's carbon fiber paint.
It's a Vanta Black.
It's
And
the blackest of all blacks.
it's so black that it absorbs 99.9% of all light.
It's the blackest black.
Is the
Yes.
Just like Robbie's soul.
It's just as black as the Spinal
and
Tap cover.
and my sense of humor.
Well, I mean, sometimes.
When I was reading this article, all I could think about was that scene on Hot Tub Time Machine
Yes.
where he's like, "Oh my God, it's so black! It's so unbelievably black." That's all I could think about when I'm reading this. Like going, yeah, that's unbelievably black. That's an unbelievably black car.
It is unbelievably
It is so
black.
black.
It's just a blob now.
It absorbs light so much you
It's just
can't
a
even
grill.
tell like the features of the car.
Yeah, you don't see the lines and the changes in shape and stuff. It's just there's a blob.
Yeah.
And then there's grill and windows and wheels.
There's no way they're going to sell this car with this is not going to be an actual
Well,
paint you can buy.
I don't.
They're not doing it.
Dude, apparently it absorbs light at such a phenomenal rate that it creates an insane amount of heat.
I believe that.
So they couldn't. I would venture to guess that they couldn't sell it because if it sat out in the sun, you couldn't physically touch it to open the door.
You wouldn't have to. It's got the fancy little buttons.
Yeah, but the door doesn't open.
It could.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong there, but
One button, it goes, cha-ching, and it opens.
Vanta Black. It's carbon nanotubes.
Carbon fiber.
It's basically carbon fiber paint.
Yep. It's wonderful.
Are you in on this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
It's just like the physics nerd in me. It just loves
What
it.
What is the purpose?
practicality of
What
it?
is
There's nothing.
Well, is there is there a practical application for Vanta Black?
They did
I
talk
realize not a car, but just like in aerospace or anything, is there an application for it?
There's applications all over. But like they even talked about using it somehow like on the dash. So instead of having any reflections off the light off your dash, that would be one thing. It's like, I don't know, like if you've ever seen a painted dash.
Oh, it's terrible. You can't see shit.
Can't drive. So this would kind of
that
be
was a thing in like the 60s and earlier.
And
like back
early
when,
2000s.
Back when, well, yeah, but that was a
production cars.
In production cars.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
No. So they mentioned something like that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head where it would be a great application. But yeah, I mean, there's...
When my Porsche paint to sample comes up, this is what I'm asking for.
Vanta Black.
Vanta Black.
Definitely.
See them freak out about that for a while. What do we do?
Yeah, we gotta do that. The physics nerd in me just thinks it's super cool.
It is super cool.
Not practical on a car, but super cool nonetheless.
I just don't see an application for it even outside of automotive.
They're using them on watches now. That's the
that'd be cool.
There's a couple Vanta Black watch styles.
Of course there is.
I want it.
Are they uber expensive?
Yeah, they're like in the $60,000 range.
I can't imagine that it's a cheap
Oh God,
process.
it'd be very expensive. Like, because it's not, obviously it's apples and oranges, but it's kind of like stealth because that absorbs radar.
Well, okay, so
This absorbs light.
maybe that's a
I mean, it's totally different things because absorbing light doesn't mean it absorbs radar, but yeah, you know what I mean? There's applications out there. Like painting your car.
I was thinking you could use it for things that you actually wanted thermal energy from.
Yeah. Like a roof.
solar freaking
solar panels.
roadways.
Solar roadways. Obviously.
Let's figure out how to make this
Vanta
more
Black
expensive.
solar. Yeah, exactly. The most expensive road in the world.
$5 million isn't enough for what,
No,
eighth
it's
of a
not.
mile.
Maybe that's what Bugatti's moving to.
All Vanta Black cars. That's all they do now.
Roads. They're going to do expensive roads.
That'd be a move. If they said we're only going to make Vanta Black cars now, someone would go, okay, that's cool. Yeah, let's do
we'll
that.
buy
I'll
that.
I'll put my name down for that. Dude, somebody, if they made a car that was $4 million and it was Vanta Black and they had like 100 of them, they'd sell all of them.
Here's the thing.
They'd sell out.
Here's the thing
before
is
they
that
were made.
some Saudi Arabian prince would buy it and it would literally melt like
Instantaneously.
it would just melt itself in the sun.
What do you... here's a big question. Does it show scratches? Or are they like...
Oh, because
do they absorb?
It's still got a clear code, doesn't
Or
it?
yeah, does it absorb it, or does it make it even more obvious that there's a scratch?
I would say it makes it worse, right?
It would be more obvious.
I think so, yeah, because that's going to refract light.
But like the
Scratch
Toyota
would.
Camry bumper dent, you wouldn't even know.
Maybe.
What do you mean?
What? Yeah.
Well, you know how like every Toyota Camry on the planet has that caved-in bumper corner, the rear bumper.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even see it.
Because everybody would have scratches on their Vanta Black
Well,
car?
no, as long as there's no scratch, as long as it's just the dent,
Oh, I see what
you
you're
wouldn't
saying.
even know it's there.
That's true.
Because it's so black that you can't see the shapes and the changes.
It's true. Yeah, you get hit with a hammer as long as you don't scratch the paint.
Yeah. We
I
should
don't know
paint
what the
our
application
table
is for
with
that.
Vanta
They need self-healing Vanta Black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Didn't Lamborghini pretend like they made a car that healed itself?
There's been a couple of them out there, yeah.
Carbon fiber nanotube, something.
Yeah, it's
something.
like
They said they could heal.
Well, some of that clear coat, if you put it in the sun,
It flows back out again.
yeah.
Bizarre.
That'll end well.
I'm sure it will. What could possibly
Well,
go wrong?
if it was that well, it'd be more common.
Right. Well, I think it's cost prohibitive
That
still.
too, yeah.
Even if it works, it's cost prohibitive.
Adam's going to disagree with this headline, but dog steals car, crashes.
Owner blames on dog for insurance fraud.
That makes way more sense.
So what they claim here is that a dog was left unattended in a vehicle. First of all,
Shame on them.
left their dog unattended in a vehicle. And
Must
and
have been running, though.
The windows are all down.
even if it was running, I'm still not buying this.
No, I'm just saying, yes, continue.
But so the dog had a leash on, and somehow the leash managed to get tangled up in the shifter and pull it out of park, and it rolled backwards down a hill and crashed into a retaining wall in front of somebody's house. So I went out to my car with a dog leash because I happen to have two dogs,
Yes.
unfortunately,
No.
Sorry about your luck.
More dogs are
against
better.
my will.
Yeah, but he didn't get a choice in the Well, either really.
Well,
did you?
I kind of. It was. We're not going to go.
All right, yeah.
We don't need
continue.
to talk about
Continue.
it on the podcast. And I did every way from Sunday trying to wrap my leash around the shifter and pull it out of drive.
Yep.
Or pull it out of park. You have to have your foot on the brake.
Oh, in a 2001 S-Class, most definitely.
Yeah, so they did this in a 2001 S-Class, an S-Class Mercedes, a top of the line at the time it was manufactured Mercedes-Benz.
Yep.
There is no way that doesn't have a brake safety failure or a lock
safety switch. Yeah.
Yep.
So unless the dog pushed his foot on the brake and then got his leash tangled up in the shifter and pushed the button that is surely on the shifter, because there's also that secondary lockout.
Yeah,
Whether it's on the side or on the front or
if
wherever
it is,
is.
I could see him wrapping.
But then he
getting that
still
one.
has to push the brake,
Right.
in order for it to get into neutral. Insurance fraud. I'm telling you,
Physics don't add up, man.
it doesn't work. The only thing that I can come up with, and I suppose there is a small chance that it happened in an S-Class, is that failed
Yep.
and it doesn't work anymore because it's a 2001 S-Class.
They just overrode it.
And yeah, instead of fixing it right, they just overrode it.
I'm not buying it.
Or it failed and they just don't know it doesn't work. But it just seems unlikely to me. So they blame this shit on their dog. Hell, I would even question whether the dog was in the vehicle at the time of the accident. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of holes in this story.
I don't know what advantage it would be though to them, whether they did it or the dog did it. Like it doesn't. They don't benefit from it.
So if you back into a wall with your S-Class, well, now you're embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an embarrassment thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't really monetarily.
It's some
benefit
older, prim and proper couple, who has
a gated community.
Yeah, but in their mind, they have to be perceived as perfect. And they crashed into their neighbor's retaining wall, and so they had to find a way to not look imperfect. Oh, well, this is the dog's fault.
Should never blame the good boy.
I'm telling you, man.
He is the happiest boy. You see the
yeah,
picture of him? He
he's
is
so
super pumped. He's like, man, look at all these fucking people.
Oh,
this is the
is,
shit.
Is that a TV crew? Because this
Man,
was
I'm gonna be on
reported on
TV.
by the
It's
local
great.
CBS affiliate.
Yeah, are you married or are you related to this? Actually, are you married to this person, Katie Nielsen?
Yeah, I noticed that. But I'm not buying it.
Nope.
Not buying it for a second. I went out there and tried it. # real journalism, people.
Couldn't get it to happen.
Without my foot on the brake, it does not happen. Because I thought maybe I just didn't understand it, right? Because you don't think about it, right?
No, you
Yeah.
just hop your car and do
it's
it.
such motor, or
Yeah,
muscle
absent-minded.
memory.
Yeah, there you go.
That I thought maybe you could push the button. And I even tried it with the car off and the car on. It doesn't make any difference. The only way that you can do it is there's a little, a lot of cars have that little hidden
Button.
that you can pop a tab out of the center console or
There's a little
whatever.
golf tee and
Yep, and you push the button to pull it into neutral.
Yep.
And I doubt the dog did that.
no, I'm pretty confident they didn't.
So lies
Everything's
and
a lie.
slander.
Yep.
People ain't no good.
People ain't no good.
This is why our insurance costs are out of control.
It's true, man.
All right, I think that's it for this week, right?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Catch you guys next week.
Probably.